Welcome to the Solopreneur CEO podcast. I'm Karen Kilby-Clark, and along with my co-host, Marsha Sheehan, we help solopreneurs lead with clarity and build businesses that grow without burnout. This show is for solopreneurs who've built something real, but are carrying more of the load than they want to be. Your business works, but it depends too heavily on you. And deep down, you know it shouldn't feel this hard. Here, we talk about the mindset, systems, structure, and support it actually takes to run a business without sacrificing your well-being. We're not about hustle culture or pushing harder just to survive. This podcast is about stepping out of reactive solopreneur mode and into CEO-level leadership so your business can support your life instead of consuming it. If you're ready for honest conversations, real-world strategies, and a lot less pretending, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Welcome back. I am so excited to have our second interview in the How I Run This series. Today, we are going to be introducing you to Vikki Diaz. She is a branding and marketing specialist for construction companies, realizing that she really had a gift in storytelling for their own family business. She thought, maybe I could replicate this process for other companies. I had mentioned Vikki a few episodes ago because I actually met her in real life. She had done another podcast interview and I learned a lot about her family and she's amazing. I can't wait for you to meet her. Vikki, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about why you and your husband got into the painting business, and then we'll get into the whole episode.
Thank you for having me. My name is Vikki Diaz and I own basically two businesses, Leo's DMV Painting and then also House of Trades. I started with Leo's DMV Painting because we have a son that's special needs. Because of how demanding the schedule was for him, we needed to go ahead and find an alternative way that wasn't like the traditional 9-to-5 route, opening up our business. And through the social media, we were able to grow our business and be able to get more of our leads in basically time. A lot of other contractors were requesting or trying to figure out what we were doing to expand our business. That's when I decided, well, let me see if there's a demand. Let me create House of Trades. And now I help different contractors around the DMV area grow their business through social media.
I've found that's happened in business before where you're just naturally good at something, or, it's an acquired skill set. People see it and they're like, wow, how do you do that? And then it can go from, okay, like picking brains to I should actually start charging for this. I've seen your equipment stack and it's really impressive. The first time I met Vikki, I was like, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have, and she has everything. Like it's really cool, the amount of equipment that she has. Was it all just boots on the ground, like learning as you went? Or did you take training and courses and mentorships and all that kind of thing?
All the videos that I've done for my own company, it was literally just my phone. So I grew the company with the phone. Actually, at church, I ended up learning about the camera and how to use the camera and all that other stuff. So I got irritated at someone like that wasn't taking the pictures properly and taking videos. So I told my husband, look, for my birthday gift, I don't want a party. I don't want anything. Buy me a camera. Let me figure this thing out. So then once I discovered it, I was just like, I actually like this. I can see myself doing something with it. That's when I started investing in different things, like different classes, YouTube videos, trying to figure out exactly how to get the best angles, how to do everything that I was doing with the phone, but with a camera.
Very cool. I love that you asked for that as a gift, and I hope your husband put that on your taxes as an expense because you're using it.
He did, yes.
Okay, good. But I love that you asked for it as a gift because you're like, let me just test this out and try it out and see if it's something that I like. And then it just opened up all these doors. That's awesome. We're big on people investing in themselves and their businesses. Could you walk us through what it looks like right now, managing and being in the day-to-day with both of those businesses, the branding and the painting?
So right now, we hired an office manager and a virtual assistant. So all the admin work, someone else takes care of it. The perks of it now is I want to be more hands-off. Systems are like your best friend. Everything's automated. So like once we get a lead, nobody really touches it. It's just automated. Once they book the call, then that's when either I'll hop on if I have time or someone else would hop on. The only thing that we do keep the way that we've run from the beginning is that Leo and I will go out to the estimates. So we'll still make our way out there. We'll still show up to the job sites. Usually it's just for a couple hours, but we'll show up there just for the homeowner to feel like, okay, I still have the owner's attention. That's one of the biggest things is I don't want to lose the detail customer service that we've had from the beginning because we're growing on the other end with House of Trades.
What I've seen in your marketing of House of Trades is you're encouraging these companies to build their brand on trust and to do the visual storytelling where their potential clients, they're looking them up online and they're seeing the attention to detail and the care that is being given. So that's important for your painting business, for you to still be the spokesperson, the front person. It sounds like it was an intentional decision from the beginning. Karen and I were so pro systematizing your business. There can be this misconception that creating systems means you're removing yourself entirely from the business, and that's not what we're saying at all. To be a good business owner, you have to be a good leader, and being a good leader is being that front person that lets the client know, like, hey dude, I'm there for you all the time. If you need anything, just reach out to me. But having you be involved in all of those other aspects, it's not necessary. That would drain you so much, especially like with the family stuff going on. I love the intentionality that you have there and what you teach the clients that work with you. You're putting the human into the brand, and that's what sells. That's what's going to sell now.
There's been so many homeowners that have just gotten burnt from someone that they'll go ahead and hire, like I say, this big company. And sometimes it's not even like the actual company that shows up. They'll go ahead and sub it out and this and that. And then they don't have connections to the actual owner. So when there's a problem, they don't know exactly who to talk to. We do sub out our work, but it's just like we're very involved. It's to the point that you can't even tell that we sub out our work. That's
right.
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. Having people who are representing your business, there's quality assurance that you have, right? They're probably wearing branded t-shirts, that kind of thing. But yeah, like you're the project manager. A little bit of backstory. Vikki showed up on my agency's Instagram. You reached out and you're like, hi, I'm Vikki. This is what I'm doing. And let me know if I can ever help you in any way. And I was like, what? I just loved it. Because like people are usually like, hey, Marsha, I'm trying to revolutionize it. And I'm like, but like you seem like a real freaking human. You took that initiative, you reached out, you sent a message, and then I saw what you were doing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I wanted to do, because I started my business after working for a luxury builder in the area. A lot of builders, they're mom and pop shops, and they have a lot of different subcontractors, and there's a lot of moving pieces, but the marketing and branding angle isn't done as well as it could be. So I was like, damn, look at Vikki. But you were like focused, you're set, like you had that experience. The meetings that I was having with people that I had met when I was at the builder, they were like, oh, this is definitely a service that is needed. Once I kind of got out of that lifestyle, I took a different path. But you went down this path, and I just see so much potential in your future with the branding and the marketing, because a lot of these builders, a lot of these construction companies, they just don't have the bandwidth to hire a full-time marketer. The agency work that you're doing, it's really cool, and it's needed because it will help construction companies stand out from the rest. There are a couple companies in the McLean area where they have an on-staff person, full-time person, and you can just tell it does build trust. Like when you are constantly seeing them in your feed, and it's like, okay, if I'm going to go with a builder, I want to go with someone who's showing me the entire process from foundation to keys being handed over. It makes you think these guys aren't going to just run away if I have issues, and there will be issues. Houses settle. Like I learned so much. I was like, oh my God, like I love my 50-year-old home now.
Yeah, it's already settled into the property. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Vikki. So what is a boundary or constraint that you've put in place that's made the business better that most people in your industry wouldn't consider?
In the painting business, we have a separate number. Contractors give their like personal number, that's the office number. So we have two different numbers. We have the office number, which is like the main number, and then Once we close the deal, I tell the homeowners, hey, look, this is my personal number. If you need anything, let me know. Shoot me a text, give me a call, but it's not my personal number. It's another number that's an app on my phone. They have that reassurance that if anything happens, they can get a hold of me real quick. That's definitely one of the perks that we've had with the painting. Giving that line, like, okay, this is my actual number. I know that whoever's calling me is actually someone that's not business related.
I think it's really good to have separation. It does give the client the reassurance that they're getting directly to you, but it's not where you're constantly being pinged and everything. I'm sure you see like the notifications in the app and you're like, oh, okay, I need to check this. It can get very overwhelming. Having like all these different, because you're talking to contractors, you're talking to homeowners, you're talking to business owners, you're talking to business owner staff, right? How many different types of people are you talking to?
A lot.
Yeah, because like like your kids' caretakers too, like
Yeah.
your husband.
My phone at the end of the day has like a whole bunch of notifications. Sometimes I just like D&D everything like the whole day.
Yeah, well, you
I
have to,
have
right?
yeah.
I've started doing that too, putting the focus on my phone because I'm like, there's certain things where I just cannot be distracted. It's important doing that focus like work where there aren't distractions, especially if you're on site and there's
Yeah,
active construction that's happening.
exactly.
You did touch on this about having the office manager for the painting business, but what's something in your business that looks simple from the outside, but it actually has a lot of structure behind it?
With House of Trades, editing. The way I edit is not the traditional go viral method where it's just like, flashy here, transitions there, and this and that. There's intention behind it. I know the process of how the order is supposed to be. The sequence of the way it's being edited is the same way. And it's a little bit more of a documentary style than like the flashy, because what we're doing is not just creating a video just to go viral. We're trying to document the process, which is completely different than the traditional videographers that are out here. Sometimes that's the hardest thing for contractors to understand is like, I'm not just making a video. That basically that video, you can grab it and you can put it into your SOPs or you can put it into your back end. So it's not just for social media, but it has multi-purpose.
The marketing agencies that work with companies that are brick and mortars or that are doing work in a localized area, virality should never be your focus. It shouldn't be your goal. You want the eyes that you're having on your content be local people who can actually hire you. The rest of it's just smoke and mirrors. It's a waste of money. You want someone to work for you who has that focus and that intention to tell your story.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the contractors, they look at the number and they're just like, I just want to go ahead and hit 1 million. I want to hit this and that on the videos. The debt company that I had talked to you about, that was one of their things. They wanted to see the big number on their videos. I told them it doesn't make sense to have someone from Indiana, from different states or even different countries look at your stuff if you're not going to be able to send a crew out there to actually do the job. It's better to go ahead and have a smaller view, have 200 people, but it's 200 people in your area that you can eventually close and make a deal with, than 20 million and none of them are like nowhere near you. Numbers talk at the end of the day, but some people just don't get it.
Yeah, it's that mentality that the wider the reach, the more customers you're going to get. That might work if you're an online business. Stuff that's made to go viral, that's a system. And the people who go viral, like they're getting paid by the social media companies. So like by YouTube and by TikTok, and that's how they're actually making their money. It's not by providing a service for people off of the platform. That's always like a big disconnect between business owners who are like, I don't want to part with my money unless I'm seeing a return. If you are able to tell a good story with your marketing and sell a custom home, like, wow, that's a big return. Right?
Yeah, the marketing itself isn't something that you just turn on one day to the next and you have a whole bunch of clients. You have to build the momentum. If basically you go from showing no content to like starting to slowly show content, you're starting to get the movement, and then you start generating your leads and this and that. So it takes about 6 to 8 months of consistency and actually having a strategy put in place to get results.
Yes. Yeah, it does take time for sure. And that's why I think you want to like hire people, hiring the office manager and the VA for the painting business. Like you didn't do that before you needed to. You needed to. So you felt friction in your business and you're like, how can I remove myself from every aspect of this business? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm answering for you. Like I'm saying this is what you did, Vikki, but like I assume
That is what I did. The work with the painting and also with House of Trades, it just was too much mentally,
yeah.
physically, and emotionally too, that basically it was a day that I crashed. And I was like, okay, I can't do this because I can't be the best in the painting and I can't do everything all at once. Let me free my hand out of this one and focus more on House of Trades. So then that's when I started putting the pieces together. But if I would have done it beforehand, before getting to that point, that would have helped. But sometimes we learn the hard way.
Yeah. It's so common, and thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of us have crashed out, and sometimes people will reach that level and they'll get very catastrophic with their thinking, like, okay, I just have to close this, I have to let this go completely, and you didn't do that. So I'm glad that the crash out was enough where you were like, look, we have a viable business here and we have something that's growing. Having an agency is remarkable because you can bring in so many subcontractors, like Google ads specialists, like you can really grow that, where it's like moves from just focusing on what you're focusing on right now. Whereas painting, it's like, it's cyclical, right? It depends on how much money people have, what's happening in the economy, and like how many people are moving. With the branding and marketing, companies are always going to need to brand and market, like to get customers and clients. So I'm glad that that helped you. And it's so, oh my God, it's so painful when that happens too, because you're just like, you question everything, right? And
Yes,
you're
you
like, God, it's brutal, man. Cause you're like, should I have even been doing this? Like, you just start to look at all of your friendships and your relationships, and you're like, oh, if I had just, like that's how I am. I'll just sit there in like a
yeah.
puddle and just be like, man, I really just screwed this whole life up. And then you freaking build back up. But it's like,
Exactly.
okay, Marsh, okay, Vic, I'm sure there's a way. This has been done in the past. That's what this podcast is about. That's what our community and our society is about. It's letting people know, like, we're freaking humans running these businesses, and there's going to be times that we crash out, and we have to know that what we've built is real and that we can come up with a structure and a format that is not based on emotion, right? Like nothing has to just completely break in half. Did you have help with that?
I was trying to figure it out with my husband. I'm trying to make a game plan with him. I actually go to therapy too, so I was talking it out. Like you said, it's like we get in this like little bubble that business is always going to go up, but eventually it goes down, and it's part of the roller coaster. And social media in a way doesn't also help that it makes the business owner world like it's like glamorous and it's like a this and that, but it's not.
It's not.
Like there are days, like you said, that we're gonna doubt the heck out of our mind, and it's just like if we have a strong mentality, we should be able to get back on course. But it just when those days hit, just hit reset.
Those are the days where, and I'm done fighting it. I got the glamorous autoimmune, whatever, what is it called? Diagnosis like a few months ago. It gets triggered by stress. And I'm like, cool, because I've never been stressed before. And the autoimmune thing is most likely from just having repeated stresses. It just gets to the point where like you look at your health and you're like, I can't keep doing what I've been doing. Whenever I feel really bad, I'm just like, I'm just going to read a book. I'm just going to go for a walk. I'm just going to unplug. This was the part you liked in the summit where I said I have to treat myself like a toddler sometimes. Like, did you eat today, Marcia? Have you watered yourself? Have you, like giving myself water,
Yeah.
not like peed, but like, but that's part of it. What you said, like business ownership is not glamorous. There is so much that goes into it that is not beautiful. And that's why sometimes you do need to hire that outside help so that you can make it look like it's glamorous, and that's not That's not being fake or anything. That's just portraying your business in the way that you want it to be portrayed. With my personal brand, like I'm all about getting people to be more audacious and to be better leaders. So I can share the good, the bad, and the ugly. But like if I was a construction company, I wouldn't want to share the person who just put a nail through their hand. Like, no, that's
Yeah,
not good for
no,
business, you know? Like
not good for business.
let's finish up with this question based off of everything we just said. If someone listening is successful, but they feel maxed out or stuck doing too much themselves, what do you think they're underestimating right now? And what would be your advice? Like you said, if you had just seen the breakdown coming, you would have initiated those things in advance. But like, what if people feel like that? Like they're in a pressure cooker and they're just like, I am freaking out. What would you say?
I would just tell them breathe.
Okay.
It's not the end of the world. Like, yeah, it might seem like it, but it's not. It's better to think with a cool head than a hot head. With a hot head, or if you're like very impulsive, I'm impulsive. So it's just like I've learned that I had to like step back whenever I feel like overwhelmed, then just like actually think of everything that I've accomplished so far, up to what I have right now, the companies that I'm constructing, the family that I have, and things like that. Once I start looking into everything that I'm doing, then it's like, okay, now let me, if I'm in this problem, let me go and figure it out step by step. Because we can't get from A to Z without going through B, C, D, and through the alphabet. And sometimes that's what we forget. Like we have that ultimate goal, but they're all like little steps in between that we have to do, and they're little tiny steps or things that we have to accomplish to get to it. And sometimes we just don't do it.
We can want to skip some steps, but the path like reveals itself every step you go. And I find that too when I'm super overwhelmed. Like I literally have to take a piece of paper and write down every single thing that's on my mind. And it just brings me so much peace because it's validating. I'm like, oh my God, this is an insane amount of stuff to do. Then I can start labeling it. Is this an A priority or is it a D priority? Can this be delegated? Also celebrating what you have done, the successes that you've had, which makes you remember like you are able to do this. It's just a moment in time. A short plug because we are having that tonight, but the Success Secret Society on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have an intention setting and it's all about that nervous system reboot. And so we do like breathing exercises and we celebrate the successes that we've had and we make plans for the future too. Ideally, we could every day be like, okay, I'm starting to really stress out. I should breathe. But sometimes having that on your calendar where it's like, I can go be with these people and we can all exhale together. It's a beautiful thing. So Vikki, it has been such a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for being our second interviewee.
Thank you for inviting me, for having me on here. It's a pleasure.